Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the match between Australia and Samoa. Vancouver Sevens. This is the opening game for these two sides. Now, they are a part of a tricky group, so you've got to make sure you're getting the points nice and early on. Currently actually witnessing the other two teams playing, France and the USA, Antoine Dupont, of course, making his Vancouver Sevens debut. But speaking of debuts, don't think there's a huge amount for either of these two sides in their starting lineups, going with experience over a little bit of inexperience off the benches. But for the Australians, Henry Hutchinson, Matthew Gonzalez, Nick Maloof, Henry Patterson, Hayden Sargent, also James Turner and Dietrich Roach. For the Samoans, Iuna Sione, Noeli Letufia, Motu Opitai, Tom Maeva, so probably the least experienced player out there on the field for either side. Steve Onisai, Elisabetta Alofipo, and also Taunuu Levi. Now, Samoa, they are right on the cusp of relegation. They need a big Sevens league somewhere along the lines to build up some extra points. Whether or not it is this one, we will have to wait and see. Now, they actually did finish 10th in the last competition. That was in Perth and Cape Town. I believe they finished about the same, maybe a little bit lower. So this is the time where they really need to up the momentum, seeing as we are at the halfway point of the season. For the Australians, they've been runner-up twice to Argentina, including on their home turf. So they want to change that, of course, and try and get themselves back under the winning belt. But it sounds like it's going to be full time here, or at least close to it, between France and the USA. Of course, this will be the next game that does take place. Greetings, everyone, says Gus. Good morning from Fiji. Appreciate your live commentary, says Akash there as well. And we are, of course, going to be covering plenty of the action. I will mention later on tonight, or a little bit later in the afternoon, we are actually covering the Fiji and Drua game in their contest up against the Blues. During that match, the Fijians will be playing Spain, and while that match is taking place, even though we are covering the Drua Blues commentary, we will be keeping you informed of who is scoring the tries and when they are scoring them throughout the Sevens match. Alongside that, we are also keeping you guys informed about the Samoa versus France game, which is also just around the corner. But the next game that is taking place, Fiji, they will be taking on the Spanish, I believe. If I'm not wrong, maybe I've got that round the wrong way. I think Spain playing Fiji next, and then after that, the Fijians have got their game up against the Canadians with the overlap. Do let me know who you think will win this contest. Can the Australians do it again? The last few times that these sides have played off, it has been Australia more times than not. Samoa, they haven't got a few of those experienced names, whether that is Va'a Pilomaliko, whether that's Paul Scanlon, no Malani Matavao, and I feel like that was something that actually helped the Samoans in their last league. But as they build towards the Olympics, they want to work out what combinations work best and who exactly is the squad that will try and take out the gold medal in France. And speaking of France, they have just won their game up against the USA, 24 points to the 12. But this next one just about to get underway as a part of Pool B. It is a stacked pool. France walking away with the maximum points. USA not receiving a losing bonus point. So whoever loses this contest, the goal would be to lose it by less than 7 so that you can at least get the 1 point, which could be the difference between qualifying for the quarterfinals and missing out. What's your prediction for the game between the Fiji and Drua and the Blues? I'll be honest, like the Drua, it's actually a really weird scenario because the Fiji and Drua have not won a game during preseason. The Blues have won all of their games throughout preseason. So heavy favourites, of course, would be the Blues, but the Drua, you know, they've got a couple tricks up their sleeve, I believe. A few young players getting the debut as well. I think in that back line, the fact that they've got a whole new fly half, whole new fullback, and a whole new right wing might cause some problems, but that may also help them in terms of how they play. But to be honest, if I was to give a completely honest prediction, I think that the Drua are going to do decent this season. I just don't think this first game is going to be the one that they really shine in. I'm going to say Blues by about 25. I hope that it doesn't happen. I hope the Drua keep it close, though, because they've got a really good young team, and hopefully they go far. Speaking of young teams, though, Samoa ready to go here. It's going to be Jeremy Rosier, in his 175th match as a referee. It's going to be Samoa kicking off from left to right. The speed advantage, you would have to say, goes to the Australians, but power advantage, you give it to Samoa every day of the week. Alofipo going to be kicking this one off. And it's going to just travel the 10 metres. Unfortunately, it has also gone into touch on the full. So it means that it will go right back. Australia have got the option on the halfway line of either the scrum or the quick tap. I believe that Australia are much more likely to go with the quick tap here. Yes, they are. Straight away into the tap. Keeping momentum flying. Matthew Gonzalez. Hang on. The referee, in the French accent, has just said he didn't see the ball moving when he took the quick tap. Okay, it wasn't properly played on the ground from Matthew Gonzalez. Oh, no clear tap from Matthew Gonzalez. Oh, only partially touched the ball, but did not have the ball travel forward off a tap. That is a very, very precise rule, and a rule that probably only a referee with 175 caps under his belt would notice. Now, chance for Samoa to get it right after the mistake early on. Alofipo, big slinging pass out to the left-hand side. Now Steve Onisai, great to see him back on the Sevens circuit. Hasn't had a huge amount of game time as of late. Alofipo. Now back across to the right-hand side for the Samoans. I think someone was calling for an offside. The referee does ignore him. Now Letufia going back across to the left-hand side to Nauulivai. Sits down Patterson. That is something that really happens on the Sevens circuit. It went backwards, but Australia have managed to take that ball back. Gonzalez goes to the short side off to Henry Patterson. Inside ball to Gonzalez, who has dropped the ball. It's a handful of errors for the number 9 for the Aussies. And Hamish Bro says, Michelle, welcome in. Nice run on the outside from Tom Maeva. Like I mentioned, one of the newer names that we have seen here for the Samoans. Australia do receive the penalty, though. 5 minutes still remaining in this first half. Being played at quite a frantic tempo, it is fair to say, between these two sides. I feel like that next game that is taking place between the Fijians and the Spanish will be no different, trying to push that pace, looking for as many tries as you can get as the points differential. Another thing that will play heavy factor in who goes through to the quarterfinals. Australia able to kick that one into touch. They have now got themselves the line out after the penalty was given away in the breakdown. On our throw for Matthew Gonzalez, he has not really put a foot right throughout this match so far. So this line out, a lot of pressure on him. It was almost stolen by Nauulivai, but Australia hang on to the ball. Dietrich Roach goes on the outside to James Turner. Always has plenty of pace, but he's looked for an offload that hasn't worked out. Australia, unforced errors at the moment, and now nice short pass for Samoa. Stepping through, big fend, and Motua Pitai will score the first try of the match. And Hamish, they let me early then planned, so I back home. Says Brandon, also Hamish Bro, it is 4:33 a.m. in India, so I'd say very early morning start for yourself, Vishal. A nice jacket, Hamish Bro. Says Vishal in there as well, but brilliant step from Motu Opitai, and alongside that he did the big fend in the face of Matthew Gonzalez. Got to the try line, forces it down, and the celebrations in the stands from the Samoan supporters. Motua Pitai, first try of Vancouver. Kick has gone over from the Samoans as well, so they will now make the score 7-0. Like I mentioned the last time, and many of the other times that these two sides have gone head-to-head, we normally see Australia as the side who end up walking away with the victory. But if Samoa can cause an upset here, I don't want to jinx anything, but that would almost confirm their spot through to the next point. Definitely if they were able to pick up a win later on up against Le Bleu. But now there's an offside advantage against the Samoans. Right as I say that they're playing well, they have the discipline. Starts going on. Let's go, Samoa. I hope we see Samoa versus Fiji in the final. So here's Brandon. It'll be a pretty awesome one. We always know that the Pacific Island sides bring the pace and the power to the Sevens circuit. Matthew Gonzalez making sure that that tap travels forward. I'm back around. That was Sargent. Gets it out wide to Jimmy Turner. Trying to pin his ears back, but he's wrestled towards the touchline. Back across. Australia not really going anywhere as of yet. It only takes the one line break. Henry Patterson almost going through. Hutchinson goes to Roach. Sargent to Turner. He's got Nick Maloof with him, who's cutting on the inside. Now once again, Australia slowly build their way towards the halfway line. Maloof looks for the offload, gets it to Hutchinson. Out wide to Henry Patterson, and he just throws himself at the line. It seems to be the best tactic for the Aussies. Him and Nick Maloof just bulldozing their way towards the opposition line. Now James Turner again one-on-one with Steve Onisai, who has managed to wrestle him down well. Dietrich Roach, they're still on the halfway line. Australia, they are yet to enter the Samoan half in the last maybe 3 or so minutes. Now they break through. Hutchinson gets a pass on the outside to Henry Patterson. Thought about offloading to Gonzalez, but the penalty goes the way of the Samoans. Irish players, Uncle Auntie, I hope they both fine. Please tell us I asking them. Says the show, they are doing very well. I have been telling them that you have been asking how they are, and I hope you are well also. Now Australia 22 metres out. Sargent goes across to Nick Maloof. He's got James Turner with him, but actually decides to step himself. 50 seconds remaining in this first half, and it has been a fatiguing period of the game for Samoa. They are just defending tackle after tackle. Australia not budging. Samoa defence offside. This is maybe 15 to 20 tackles in a row. Dietrich Roach now almost able to go through. There's a slip for the Samoan defence, and James Turner scores the try between the posts. They get back into the contest. Samoa 29, Australia 10. Nadro edits. James Turner, that is actually his first try of 2024. Dietrich Roach gets it away to James Turner. There are a lot of slips at the moment for teams. We noticed that throughout the first game that we were covering between South Africa and New Zealand. If you don't quite get your footing right, you cannot change direction quickly. Now, Dietrich Roach gets the kick over, and that will now be halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Between these two sides, 7-all. Nothing to split them throughout that first half. A huge amount more tackles made, though, by Samoa. We wonder what type of fatigue that will set later on in the contest, because at the end of the day, you can tackle all you want, but eventually you slow down, and eventually those gaps start to open up just a little bit more. Hamish, show your cricket match updates, please. Recent playing any match or not, says Michelle. They are actually playing today. Match starts in 52 minutes, but I will not be playing, seeing as we have got so many Sevens and Super Rugby live streams that will be taking place. Or in fact, just Super Rugby actually from after the next stream that we have got. So yeah, we are taking the rest week, I guess you could say. And then we've got to buy next week as well. So not a lot of cricket happening for myself lately. Currently half-time. Possession, you'd have to say, almost does edge in favour of Australia because of how many phases they were putting together. 20 to 18, Australia wins here, says Vishal. And there as well as the prediction. And yeah, I think we're going to see a few more tries between these two sides in the second half. I have a feeling that if either side were able to run away with this game, it would be Australia, mainly because of the extra amount of tackles that Samoa had to make throughout the first half. And I know they are world-class athletes. I know that they are definitely going to be able to keep this tempo, but, you know, sometimes those tackles start to slip. I Amish, early morning in South Africa, still watching the Sevens, says Yanlu. And what do you think of these Super Rugby games, Yanlu? I saw that you did all three of them, or at least you were scheduled to do all three, I think, on your channel. So hopefully it all went smoothly for you and you did enjoy the action. What's taking place? Currently only 10 minutes away. The Fijians will be in action up against Spain. Another game that we will be covering on the channel as well. Now Dietrich Roach ready to kick this one off for the Australians. 7-all. How the score sits. Could only be one try in the second half, so you've got to make sure that you are the team that score it. We kicked off, awkward bounce, and Samoa get the favourable bounce Big run forward from Tom Maeva. Good fin there on Dietrich Roach. Getting now 15 metres out. No Levaya. Couldn't find their next offload. And brilliant work in the breakdown from Steve Onisai to keep it on the side of the Samoans. Alofipo go crashing run forward. I think that was joining from the side of the breakdown for Australia, but the ref gave the penalty to the Aussie Sevens. Was he in through the gate or did he come in through the side? My thoughts were the second option. Hope we get to see a replay here. Maybe it was just the angle, but Sargent doing brilliant. Yep, did quite good. Both streams that I was doing looking forward to the Blues versus Fiji match. One has gone into touch now. We will end up seeing a replay just while we have this line out set. Okay, time is off. I think they are going to be making a change. And you see already that Sargent has got quite a gash out of his forehead. That is because of this AstroTurf. You cannot afford to have bare skin rubbing on the surface or else it does just rip through you. Michael Hooper watching on for the Australians. We aren't going to see Michael Hooper go head-to-head with anyone in this one. But he might be there next. Wag knocked on from James Turner. He was in open space off the grubber. Wasn't able to hang on to it. Frustrated James Turner. He was chasing it hard. He's quick. And I think he did definitely win that foot race. Just looked up. I think he was considering another grubber. Like a couple more changes are being made, including Vauwasa Apasoa. Australia have won just 2 of their past 6 games against Samoa since the start of the 2023 season. Oh, I actually thought that the record, I guess that's the overall record maybe, that Australia has struggled a bit up against the Samoans, but interesting. Only the 2 games, and I almost think at least one of those was a playoff match. Letufia passes it across now for the Samoans. 5 minutes remaining. Big run forward from Alofipo. Gets it away to Steve Onisai. Sargent will not catch him. Hutchinson will not catch him. And Steve Onisai does get the try for the Samoans. And that is his first try in 2024. His 22nd of his career. He's only recently come back in. First leg since the Hong Kong Sevens. And he just motors towards the try line. You wouldn't think he's been away for almost a year. Scores the try. Samoa take the lead. Can they keep this momentum flowing? Like I mentioned, whoever wins this has a very good chance of going through to the quarterfinals. The loser of this contest has a lot more work to do. Kick has gone over from Alofipo. The Samoans now the 14 points to 7 lead. 4 minutes left though. That is the deciding factor. Time. If you've got time in sevens, if you've got more than 30 seconds in sevens, you can score a try. Hutchinson not able to take it cleanly. Yonesioni trying to work for the ball, and I believe Australia, they did lose that for half a second, but they have managed to take it back. The form of Dietrich Roach. Big wide cutout pass. It's going to just sit up. Lawson doesn't get the bounce he was after. So the offload to Vauwasa Apasoa Samoa. Back in position. Now back across. Levi gets it to Letufia looping. Offload there. Numbers on the outside. Samoa are in again. Motu Opitai has scored his 2nd of the game. And this is now exactly where Samoa want to be. 2 tries up if this kick goes over. Conversion just that little bit more valuable than normal. Hamish bro, Buyer will sleep because 4:42. The wake up also at 7 a.m. in the morning. Seven was skipping. Time to see the next video, says Michelle, so we will see you later on. But Motu Opitai, the 2nd try for him. 3 minutes remain. The kick has missed. So it keeps the Australians in the contest. If they can score 2 converted tries in the last 3 minutes, they will take the lead. But the standings after the 3 rounds, Samoa are sitting there. They're just in the relegation zone. The bottom 4 play off. Of course, the losers of that do get relegated. So Samoa to get a whole heap of points here would be absolutely crucial for their Sevens campaign. Nicely taken by Josh Turner. Counteract there from Samoa Letufia, and they've got the penalty advantage as well, Samoa. I think they were keen to use that one out wide, but now we're starting to see a little bit of that experience. Taking their time, not rushing it here for Samoa. I think they'll call for the scrum here. They don't really like the lineouts. The Samoans, they would much rather use that physicality up front and also have less men in the back. Now scrum about to take place. Off the set piece, Samoa have scored 28% of their tries. Actually the highest try source for them throughout 2024 season. Hi guys, says 123 MS, welcome in mate. You're doing very well, but the ball has been fed in by Noeli Letufia. Now chipped in behind. This is the chance that Samoa need. Great kick. I think that is going to be, it's Maiava, or Maiava, I should say, has scored the try. And another try. Samoa on fire. I just had the realisation what the score is. 24 points to 7 after 12 minutes of this contest. Samoa, if this was a regular game, they'd have the bonus point. Samoa also will be walking away with the full points available. Australia, they will not receive a single point from this outing, the way that the score currently sits. Samoa, another game later on, up against the French, who had a pretty similar scoreline up against the USA, 24 points to 12, but that kick has gone over. So it now makes a score 26 points to 7 for the opening game in Vancouver for Samoa. Kicked off high, 30 seconds remaining. They cannot lose this game, and they've won that one. There were 5 Australians there trying to get that ball, and every single one of them. Watch Motu Opitai jump over the top of them. Samoa in the breakdown, they win another penalty. This time, I believe it was the youngster, I think. Who is that? Des Supolona it was. Have to try and work out who he was, but he was on debut for Samoa. Nice work. 2 meters out from the line now again. Motu Opitai, he's 1 try away from getting his hat-trick, but unselfishly passes it out wide. Skip pass for the Samoans, looking for the corner here. Vavasapasua drops his head and scores the try. This is one of the most dominant Samoan performances we have seen over the last maybe 5 legs of the Sevens circuit. They are doing extremely well, and they have beaten Australia in emphatic fashion. 31 points to 7. Brilliant bit of work, but just not quite able to stop them. Australia for multiple times. The second half was all Samoa. Australia hardly touching that ball, but nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going over to our next live stream, which is Fiji taking on the Spanish. So I will see you all in a very short moment. Like I mentioned, we will be doing the Fijian draw versus Blues match a little bit later on, but during that live stream, we'll keep you updated in terms of the 7 scores, including Samoa, when they do take on the Canadians. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all, in fact, sorry, France rather than the Canadians. I will see you all for the next one.